The G20 has just called climate change one of the greatest challenges of our time, and scientists estimate that we've used up about 75% of our carbon budget if we want to mitigate this threat. And that is, of course, an environmental issue, but it's also an economic issue. Hi, my name is Jonas Nahm, and I'm a professor of energy, resources, and environment at Johns Hopkins SAIS. When it comes to climate change, I study green industries, particularly in China. China is incredibly interesting to me because it presents such a puzzle. It's the location of some of the worst environmental crises in the world, but it's also got some of the most ambitious policy programs to address environmental problems and climate change, and it's home to some of the largest clean energy industries in the world. I like to remind my students that when it comes to China's role in global clean energy transitions, there are really two elements to the story. The first is that there's much to learn from the types of policies that China has used to create green tech industries domestically, especially for other developing economies. And secondly, there's a standard narrative that China is just copying technologies from the West. But particularly in clean tech industries, there's much that we can learn from innovation that occurs today in China. I became interested in China because local governments in China are experimenting with vastly different policy programs for energy and environmental governance. It's an incredible laboratory as a result of this for social scientists to understand the impact of different policies on outcomes. My students' career goals are incredibly diverse. Some of them want to work on the policy side of these issues, and others want to work in the private sector. Some of them plan to join alumni in the federal government or the State Department. Others want to work for the EPA or the World Bank and other international organizations around the globe. When it comes to energy and environment, I want my students to understand the complex situation on the ground in China today. But I also use China examples to equip my students with the analytical tools to understand critical global issues of the future.